Hey, it's Veroni Anderson. Welcome to my channel. As you could see, my videos is unedited because I didn't want them to be raw and real, and I want us to have a conversation. Right now, I'm out of town on vacation, but I wanted to do this video. How to increase your sexual desire. Right? Because our sexual desire is very important, and there's a lot of people who have a low sexual desire. So one of the ways that you could increase your sexual desire is by using your mind. Your mind, and if you're wondering, your mind is the biggest sexual organ. It's not your dick and it's not your pussy, it's actually your mind, right? So I could give an example, like if you want to tell your mind that you see a spider, right? You're going to act. If you're going to tell your mind that you see a spider, you're going to act and react like you actually see the spider, even though the spider is not there. So that's the same thing. You're going to use your mind to increase your sexual desire. And how do you use your mind? Fantasy, of course. What kind of fantasy do you have? For instance, me, right? One of the things that turns me on, right, to get me hot and to increase my sexual desire is a fantasy about me being raped. I don't want to be raped, but it's my fantasy, right? My fantasy about being raped. Well, another thing that gets me really hot and really turned on is to imagine that somebody like just push me up on the wall and have sex with me from the back with my hand tied up, with my mouth tied up with some bandage. That's my fantasy. Sometimes I play them out and sometimes I don't, but it's a fantasy. It doesn't mean it has to be real. It's your fantasy. Another thing, how you could use if you're having problems with your mind, right? Get some books and read. That's why women read romantic novels, because the fantasy of somebody romanticizing them, and you know, all the love making and the slow play and the romantic dinner, that increase their sexual desire, right? Another thing, you could look at porn, right? Or erotica, some people call it. I love to watch porn. Love to watch porn. There is nothing wrong with that. As a woman, if you love to watch porn, fine. I love a certain kind of porn, right? And it just turned me on. It makes my sex life and my sex desire better. So whatever will work to make your sex life and your sexual, increase that sexual desire, to make you get hot and to make you get juicy, that's what you're supposed to do. Your fantasy is your own. Stop making society, because society have this thing that they will control you, right? So stop making other people's opinions be in your underwear, right? Like when I tell people that I watch porn, they're like, oh my God, you watch porn, you're a girl? Frig, yeah. I watch porn because I love it. Or you could watch erotica if you want to look at some naked pictures. Go ahead, because if you want to look at some naked man picture, if that's turn you want to increase your desire, go ahead. If people have some fantasy where their fantasy about animal, go ahead. Their fantasy about fairies, go ahead. Their fantasies about balloon, go ahead. It's your fantasy. It doesn't mean you have to play it out. It just means it's your fantasy and it turns you on. Right? It increases your sexual desire to make you have a better life. Ladies, don't restrict yourself. There is no need to restrict yourself with fantasy. But if you want to play that out, go ahead. Me, I call myself a sexual creative director, because I think of shit in my head. I think of fantasy in my head, and I will play them out and I will act them out. And I'm telling you, you know, all my boyfriends, they have always been like, oh my God, I can't believe you come up with those stuff. And those increase our sex life and just make it better. And we have like hot, passionate sex. So it's your fantasy. Do whatever you want. I don't know if you remember this show that came out, right? I don't remember the name of it, but it was this guy. His name was Gray, right? And I think it was Melanie Griffith's daughter or something that was in the movie. And every woman, I'm telling you, like that sold out. And it's all the women who went to the movie theater to watch it, because the guy was all into that chain and whip and, you know, that painful sex and bandage and stuff like that. And every woman, I'm telling you, people were crazy over it, because of course it increased your sexual desire, and the guy was hot too, right? So women, they have a lot of fantasy, but they're just so afraid of what society will think. that they don't do it. Nobody opinion belongs in your underwear. Nobody. So whatever you could do to increase your sexual desire. So guess what? Use your brain. Fantasize. What do you like? Right? And you could start fantasizing from in the morning, because for instance, if I'm going to have sex, I think about sex all the time. I think about sex all the time. I have a very high sex drive, and I think about sex all the time, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I fantasize. I have different fantasy, what I want to do and what I want to create, right? And then I play it out. So, and that makes my sex life, my partner, very appreciative, because I am not this passive person. I'm very active, but you could be. Whatever makes you comfortable, but use your mind. Use your mind, 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 and create. All right? Subscribe to my channel and like my video. Make sure you press on the bell so you know when I upload different videos. Bye, guys. It's Veroni Anderson.